Chapter 8, Champion by Choice, Key 2. Context. If you want to succeed at creating life you want, you will need to make hard choices and be willing to accept both the favorable and unfavorable results. You decide the choices you make, but the results are often beyond your control. At the end of 2008, I encountered a difficult choice. It was one of the hardest decisions I've ever had to make. My entertainment career had begun to decline, and I had to decide whether to keep hoping for performance and appearance opportunities or to finish college and find a stable job. I can very much relate to that. My first job out of college, well, I worked at a radio station, and it was a lot of fun. And it was a great job from a accumulating stories and life experience, but it wasn't a great job from a being financially secure and providing for a family perspective. And around 2008, actually around 2006 is when I had to make the decision to leave the career that I had been trying to get since I was in like the third grade. And yeah, moved into corporate America at that time. Well, actually worked for the government first and then corporate America. But still, I can relate to that. I'll never know for sure what might have come if I'd kept waiting for my entertainment career to lift off. But there are some risks that aren't worth taking. If the entertainment choice didn't work out, I would have nothing to fall back on, so I chose to finish school and find a steady job. It's not as glamorous as being a recording star, I know, but I wanted to hone my other skills and find a way to make more reliable living. Although taking a day job is rare for celebrities, it's actually very common for them to build their own business and find other streams of income. This is because it is very unlikely that people receive a reliable, long-term income from just doing performances, movie roles, and/or appearances. That's why I chose to take the job at the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department as a statistical analyst, thus leveraging my knowledge of math and statistics. After a couple of years at the Sheriff's Department, and a dozen interviews, I finally earned a promotion and changed departments. I was made administrative assistant at the Department of Public Health. I knew I would be working on a greater variety of tasks and projects as compared with my previous job, so I was excited. Along the way, I'd considered giving up and blaming my circumstances, but I didn't, because I knew I needed to keep advancing my career, and I decided to keep working to improve my interview skills. I discovered that it was my interviewing skills that were holding me back because when I watched samples of how other professionals sold themselves in their interviews, I could see that I had been doing things all wrong. Rather than trying to oversell my skill sets, I needed to change my perspective and look at the advertised job from the manager's point of view. How could he benefit from hiring me? I eventually focused on how I could solve problems for the organization. I thought about why they needed to hire someone for the position. In this case, it turned out the division needed to build a new contract database using Microsoft Access, something which I had plenty of experience. When I discovered that, I was able to land the job. I also have a lot of Microsoft Access experience. If you want a program that will really help you, that's a program to learn. Am I satisfied now that I have the job? No. Would I be writing this book if I were? I'll never be content with a regular 9-to-5 job because I believe I am meant for something more. I see myself as someone who would inspire other people through speaking and coaching. It feels like my higher calling. If the first key to becoming a champion by choice is communication, the second is context. We're often told that we need to see the big picture. But what does that mean? I propose that it means taking ownership of the ideas and choices you make. And in making those choices, you can either be self-determined or other-determined. That's a good one. Self-determined means that you demonstrate your thoughts, feelings, actions, behaviors, and emotions. Other-determined means someone or something besides you is determining your thoughts, feelings, actions, behaviors, and emotions. Okay. Even knowing this, it's still difficult to live a self-determined life. So how do we do it? That's a good question. I think when I am most stressed out, it's because other people are controlling my emotions, right? The first way in which you can be self-determined is by taking responsibility for outcomes you don't have control over. Let's read that again. The first way in which you can be self-determined is by taking responsibility for outcomes you don't have control over. While that may sound paradoxical on its surface, it isn't. In making your choice, you must learn to own the results, whether they are positive or negative. Oof, not as easy as you think, buddy. My decision to go back to school and finish my degree and look for a stable job may or may not have been the best decision at that time. It's possible that I would have been better off leveraging my celebrity fame by looking for an agent to continue working in the entertainment industry. Or perhaps I could have gone into sales and started my own business. However, when I made the decision to be more conservative with my life, I accepted that I wouldn't suddenly get rich. I also wouldn't risk going broke. The second way in which you can be self-determined is by valuing your time. If you don't choose to place a high value on your time, others won't either. Outside forces will encroach on your time, making it difficult for you to chart your own course and follow your own path. I often find myself wasting time surfing the internet and checking out social media to see what is happening with my friends. I say yes to too many networking events. I still waste time with video games or computers to avoid tasks I don't want to do. Becoming self-determined also requires you to value your choices. Hold on. There is nothing that is wasting time with video games. I want to say that loudly for people in the back. You have to have a good mental balance. You have to give yourself the grace that you don't have to be go, go, go all the time. So let's be very clear there. Becoming self-determined also requires you to value your choices regarding things that might seem trivial. Things like what you eat each day, how you get to work, and who you spend your time with. Without a bird's eye view of your life, it can be hard to actually determine what is trivial and what is important. Thirdly, by valuing even minor choices that you make each day, you're developing a good habit of being conscious and intentional with making your choices. The biggest choice I had to make after my American Idol audition was whether to take a chance with the entertainment dream or walk away. I knew I didn't have the same talent as some of the stars who had succeeded on that show. I couldn't sing and dance like Carrie Underwood. I know she could dance. But I also knew that I had just been given a showbiz break that doesn't come around often, so I thought it was worth testing out. I found my answer when a classmate from my civil engineering class counseled me saying, "This is your once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. If you don't take advantage of this, you'll regret it for the rest of your life." Deciding to take advantage of that opportunity shaped the rest of my life. It stopped me from living with a deep, seared regret. When I was performing, I got to travel to many places around the world, making a name for myself and connecting with people from all walks of life. I chose to see what would happen, even though I could not make anyone but buy my records or show up to see my performances. I could not control the outcome of my decisions, but I took responsibility for it. Reflecting again on my experience working in the entertainment industry, I finally feel empowered to take steps to get out of a job I no longer enjoy. Just as before, when I left school to pursue a singing career, it will take courage. I may fail, but I can live with that. But I wouldn't be able to live with the regret of having not tried because I was too afraid. So ask yourself honestly, if you're satisfied with where you're at in your life right now, but don't stop there. Consider whether you'll be happy 5 years from now on the same course. And how about further down the road. If in fact you are not totally satisfied with your life right now, don't worry. You are not alone. You have the ability to make choices that will affect your future. And if you're unhappy, that's a good motivation to make smart choices. Consider establishing a vision for yourself and setting reasonable goals to achieve it. Look long term, but don't overlook the milestones along the way so that you can see your own progress and determine if your decisions are resulting in positive or negative consequences. I do this in my own life. My goal at this point is to earn a good living professional speaking and playing poker. Later, I intend to pivot to investing in low-risk endeavors such as low-cost index funds and real estate. That's where I'm trying to go, which is better than where I am now. I'm not relying on luck in the long term. There is obviously luck in the short term, but I'm confident that skill will be the deciding factor in the long term. I'm taking what I believe to be a smart, calculated risk and making decisions that I am accountable for. Come what I may, I'll sleep well knowing I did my best. And our next chapter is called Changing Your Perception About Risk, Chapter 9.